enter desk and attendee in listen-only mode.
All pipeline activities we can perform. And there is a tool called Data Studio. Azure Data Studio we call it. It's a free tool similar to Management Studio, and we can create something called notebooks here. Main purpose of Data Studio is notebooks. Olden days we used to use it. Okay, so here it is. Everything brought together. We have this area of Synapse Studio. Using Synapse Studio, here it is. Using Synapse Studio, we can do all operations. The yellow or orange operation and the blue operation and the other one. Okay, here we go. Okay with this information. Our requirement. Let's see now how to perform these activities. We'll do pipeline, we'll do TSQL and notebook. Let's see all things carefully. I think some conflict means a name already exists. I'll quickly create a new one. Click create resource. Synapse Analytics. Synapse Analytics, that's right. Say create. Manage resource group. That's just auto created Azure SQL. Give some name, okay? Any name is fine. I'll call it as Synapse Workspace. Okay, something like Azure SQL Synapse Workspace. Something like give the region name and I'll say like already taken. I just give a different name. File system. Click OK. What else? Go to security. What else do you have to do?
Do admin login.
You have to provide the admin name. Password. Okay, just provide the password here also. Like this, okay? Admin login name, password, and confirm the password. Click review plus create. Click create. Hope you are writing your observation note. Let's learn it step by step. Now here we go. At the end of the screen, you got one price, right? Did you see it? Like per month, per terabyte price.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Did you observe it? Just make sure we are documenting our observations, okay, so that we can come to conclusions later, one by one. Once your Synapse Analytics is created, now our next step would be about this pipeline. When it comes to the Synapse Studio, the main advantage is performance. It has more performance benefits as compared to the above three. You remember starting of our classes, we had one .stl file with data imports. You remember copy method, data imports.
Yes, sir.
New York taxi data. You remember that? New York taxi.
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You practice that same example as it is in Synapse Studio. You'll see the difference. Remember the other day it took few minutes, right? You remember some 10, 15 minutes to load data, right? Longer time.
Yes, sir.
The same example we are going to practice in Synapse Studio. It will take few seconds, max 1 minute. Very much faster. Reason? You're paying for it. Here it is. Synapse Studio is more faster. And at the same time, it is costly. And same concept of clustering. Remember, like in Data Factory Studio, we got about the debugging clusters, pipeline execution or pipeline triggering cluster. Similar, same concept applied here also. Additionally, something more here. In Synapse Studio, yes, one side we are going to have the TSQL part, pipelines, and notebooks. On other side, more important, we have something called as Spark database and Spark table. We are going to practice them anyway. There's something called Spark database and Spark table. Same concept as Data Factory Studio, like self-hosted IR, auto-resolving IR. Let's understand now how to work with it. Just remember, they are going to practice now something called Spark database and other. Before that, let's go back to the old, very first example of Data Factory. copying data from an Azure SQL database to Azure SQL pool, right? Here we are going to understand about incremental loads. Now, whatever examples we did in ADF Studio, I request you to practice in Synapse Studio also. You will see performance difference. More gain on performance, more advantage on performance. And whatever examples we are practicing from today in Synapse Studio, I request you to practice them in ADF Studio also. May not be everything we can practice. For example, Spark database, Spark tables, we cannot create using ADF Studio, not possible. Notebooks, we cannot create. We can only use existing notebooks in ADF. We cannot really create new notebooks. We cannot run TSQL scripts directly in ADF. We need a pipeline. So the common activity between Synapse Studio and ADF Studio is only pipeline, nothing else. So whatever pipelines we created until previous class, to practice in Synapse Studio. Whatever pipelines we are going to create from today in Synapse Studio, you practice in ADF Studio. You will do both. Because very soon we need to come to a conclusion when we will fix. Are we getting it now, everyone? Please, hope you are documenting the thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it carefully.
Yes, sir.
Well, here we go. Let's understand how to do it. Simple and straight. Once your Synapse Analytics resource is created, go to Synapse Analytics resource like. Okay, so here we go. Click on the workspace. Click on the workspace. I said automatically one SQL will be created, right? We have that admin name here. You may reset the password for the admin name. If you remember, before last week, Azure SQL Server, we got the option to create database, create SQL pool. Remember this? Create SQL pool.
Yes, sir. Database, Elastic.
And I was telling, we can have something called Smart Database, right? The Smart Database is inside this one. This is new for us. To practice, first, let's have a dedicated SQL. See here. This is one way to create dedicated SQL. Okay, simply click on plus new. It will ask you for input. Come on, what's the input for SQL pool? Do you remember? What's the input parameter for SQL pool? Do you remember that? DWs, DWs, right? Data warehouse unit.
DW100C.
Yeah, exactly. DW100. This one. You remember this before last week?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is one way. Okay. Other way, let's see. So you can directly click on SQL pool. Other option. Go to Synapse Studio. It is like a big brother for ADF Studio. With more options. Okay, here it is. Okay, next, let's see. Once we have this Synapse Studio ready, What we need to do now? Yes, we need to have a sync, right? SQL pool. Click on manage. Remember, in ADF Studio also we have similar buttons. First and last three. Second and third are new here. Second and third are new. Okay. Home page, pipeline, etc. Click on manage. Okay, so here it is. With this information. Left side you see option to create SQL pool. See there. Click on plus SQL pool. It's not available in Data Factory Studio. Data Factory Studio can use existing databases to create connections, to create linked services. Here we are creating new database for a warehouse. Dedicate SQL pool. And here it is. I'll say Azure, or I'll put this way. Dedicated SQL pool like this. Okay, dedicated SQL pool. Give some name and click review plus create. Click create like this. Once you click create, okay, next. Let it get created. In the meantime, you remember ADF concepts before last week and last week. We have linked service, right? Remember this concept, linked service connections.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's have the same old linked service. We use the first class of ADF. You remember very first at ADF pipeline, we got 4 different tables. Customer, product, sales, type.
Yeah.
I'll take the same database, same table. Okay. I'm taking you back to the very first example of ADF. There we did only import. Azure SQL database to SQL pool, only import. 4 tables. Here we are going to do incremental loads. Incremental load means any changes at the source will automatically go to destination once we execute the pipeline. Right? New row insert, existing row updates. Are we getting the concept now, everyone? Earlier import, now
Yes.
incremental load. Are we getting it? And wait.
Yes, sir.
Same example will practice in ADF Studio also. It works, okay? Pipelines are common, right? It works. Just connect. Let's wait. Create. Let's wait for some time. Here we go. You have the linked service ready. For source, okay? This is not the source. For destination also you require the linked service. Let's get this created. It still is taking some time. In the meantime, we start the pipeline. Because we know we can create a linked service during pipeline also. Go home. Come on, what is missing here? Compare with Data Factory Studio. What is missing?
Transform.
Transform.
Exactly. What it's there? It's there here actually. Left side integrate, new pipeline wizard. There you see transform. Now click ingest. Click on ingest. Schedule. Next. Give the connection SQL database. Previously we had this connection to filter for 4 tables. I gave you 4 different tables. Customer, product, and I think this one, right? Products and sales and time. Okay, 4 different tables. Customer, product, sales, and time. Next. Filtering completely optional. We'll take filters with parameters and queries. Stored procedures will do. In next couple of examples, we'll take stored procedures. There we'll talk about filters. Destination. New connection. I'll say Synapse, this one. Analytics. Let's wait for a few moments. The SQL pool has to be deployed. We are deploying SQL pool in the auto-created Azure SQL server, right? This one. Let's push. Go home. We created one Synapse Analytic Workspace. By default, I said one SQL server will be auto-created, I said, right? But you don't see it here. Whenever you create the Synapse Analytics Workspace, I was mentioning 30 minutes back, one logical SQL server will be auto-created. We don't see it. Go to view, show hidden types. See here on top. Hope you are writing your observation notes. Let's learn it together carefully. Show hidden types. Now we see the auto-created SQL server name, same name as the Synapse Analytics Workspace. Name is same. Type is different. And this is the managed resource group. Inside this server, one master database will be auto-created. Are we clear so far? I'll wait. This one. Are we clear so far? I'll wait.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Yes, sir.
we attempted to create one SQL pool from Synapse Studio. It didn't ask for the server name, right? The server would be this one. Auto-created Azure SQL. That will be the hosting site. But the SQL pool we are creating in the management. So we have to select this auto-created Azure SQL server only. Simple. Previous class, very first data factory example, I use a single server. Single server, one database or SQL. Now, next level. Source is in our old Azure SQL Server before last week example. Destination will be the newly created Synapse SQL. Okay. So two different servers are involved now. The SQL pool will be created. Let's wait for a few moments. Let's get the pool. And previously we learned different copy methods, right? You remember? Copy command.
Polybase.
There is a leftover called upset. You remember that? Upset. That is what we are going to learn now. Let's wait for some time. Database getting created. Then now available. Select the SQL pool. In practice the same way we are taking the class so that we don't miss anything. Don't run for any conclusions, okay? Let's learn it. Hope you are writing your observations carefully. Yes. Then fine. Then our subject will be saved. Click test connection. Create. Okay, our requirement. Here you have some tables, right? Let's get auto create. Table already exists. You can choose this option. If not, table get auto created. Next. Let's get the mapping as it. Click on next. And here we go. Upset. Remember earlier classes we had polybase. Come on, what is required for polybase? Do you remember?
To give the staging.
Yes, exactly.
Staging, yeah.
Staging, yeah.
Now we are doing upset. Upset means update plus insert. Merge statement in transactors. It requires a business. We said incremental loads. It requires a business. So key columns. Observe carefully. We need to give key columns. Okay. So provide the key column. Which column you would like to use for comparison? We have to mention. Okay, which column you would like to use for comparison? Now, here we go. Let's wait for a few moments. Let's wait for a few moments. It's taking a bit longer time to load. Just loading failed. I'll just go back. Okay. Just take you back. I'll take for one particular table for now. Generally, we take multiple tables. We should get multiple key columns. Okay, one for each table. I'll take, for example, customers underscore data. This particular table items. Let me show you for one table. Same process for multiple tables as well. Here we need to specify key column for each table. Remember that. Because we need to do merge, right? We need to perform merge. So here it's just delete. We should be able to get the key column here. Customer key is one of the key columns in your source, as well as destination gets auto created anyway. Give customer key. Okay, QTIU, same concept. Ideally, during your practice, we should be able to get to the drop down. You start with one table, you should be getting it to the drop down. You select multiple tables at the source, then for each table, we get the key column, the list of all columns for each table automatically. Select the key column. And remember this DOCP, on which factor it depends. Do you remember that? On which factor it depends, the DOCP, do you remember?
Your concurrent connections.
Exactly. On the concurrent connections. Exactly. Concurrent connection. That was the default concurrent connection by default. Do you remember it?
Will be Azure Synapse SQL Proof.
By default, it's only one, okay? Concurrent connections is only one by default. Telling this. That's right. Now your pipeline got created. And where to verify the pipeline? This one, right? Click on pipeline, right? Click on pipeline, this one. Now, we said to schedule the pipeline, right? Schedule it or manually execute the pipeline. So remember, whenever you go for accept, no staging mandatory. First thing. Number two, whenever we go for accept, we need to have one key column, right, for comparison. Because we need to identify whether it is an existing row update or new row insert. The key column should not be modified. Let me put this way. Assume, for example, initially you have data 1, A, 2, B, and 3, C. Okay, initially you run the pipeline. On destination, you get the same data, right? 1, A, 2, B, and 3, C. Later point of time, you add this data. And this is update. Like this. Once we execute the pipeline, same concept should be available on the destination, right? The incremental load, new row inserts and existing row updates. Now, what if 3 changes to 33? 3, C is changing to 33, C. What's the problem there? Warehouse will take it as a new row, right? Isn't it? Because ID is modified. It's taken as a new row. What's the problem now? Here you go. Understanding? Business key not be modified. Come on, how to prevent modifications on the business key at the source? Usually developers will take care. If not, data engineers, it's our job. We have to take the precautionary measures. Come on, do you remember that? How to?
Primary key, sir?
Someone says surrogate key. That is entirely different. Please go to the definition of surrogate key. Please. Come on, friends. What's my question now? My question: how to prevent updates on the source? Source. We are thinking about the source.
Primary key or unique key on that.
When we say primary or unique key system, we can do the modifications, right? Isn't it? Prevent duplicates, but here we have to prevent the be modified.
Trigger.
Trigger, exactly. But unfortunately, trigger is very slow. It eats my memory. Then, correct. Yes, after. But anything else? Come on,
Constraint.
Constraints again. They should be inside a procedure, right? Procedure should be called for every update or every insert. Costly. Anything else? Think of identity.
Identity column.
Exactly. That's the power of identity. The main purpose of identity is it to log updates. No updates at all, right?
No,
Getting it?
so
The identity is sequence of values. Exactly. Perfectly fine. For regular sequence of values, we have row number or user-defined functions, a lot of things. Main beauty of identity is no updates. Not allow any update.
So we can do it, sir. We can insert something set for.
We can set entities for inserting new values, brother Satish. Inserting a new value, but not for updating existing value. We cannot. Take it out. Identities. Set identity insert on is for inserting new values. For example, identity value, if you want, you can duplicate it. Okay. For duplicating identity, you have the set identity insert on exceptional cases. Updates are not possible. I'm talking about Azure SQL Server and regular SQL Server. I don't know about Oracle. Oracle, I think we cannot duplicate identity also. I think in Oracle we cannot duplicate identity. In SQL Server we can duplicate identity. So answer to the question: triggers, constraints, or identity. Out of these three, identity is the better option. Are we getting it now? I'll wait. Yes.
Yes.
Please. Are we getting it?
Yes.
Right. Now, you will do two examples today. Preferably two examples. One example for single table incremental load. You'll do it first. Then I'm mailing you one .SQL script. Okay, I'll just mail you one this one upset command script. It includes a table, single table. You install at the source and then give it to the destination. Just go through the .SQL file. Other one, source tables, 4 tables are there, right? You already have it with you. ADF, very first example. Copy data pipeline example. That script I'm sending it once again, just in case. Practice 4. You would practice in Synapse Studio as well as in ADF Studio. Please practice. By day after tomorrow, we need to come to a conclusion. When to go for Management Studio, when to go for Synapse Studio. By next day, when to go for ADF Studio, when to go for Synapse Studio. Let's go with examples here. With lengthy concepts, with theoretical reading will not work. If our interviewer is asking about source data, we are speaking about destination data. It will be difficult, right? Difficult for us to, combat ourselves for the next thing. It will be difficult for us again. So we need to have relevant answers. Please. Even though it is not correct, not complete, but relevant is very important. I'm asking a question about the source and someone talking about destination. No. Please go through things carefully. My kind request, I'll say upsets with GUI. It's not enough for us. Very soon we need to understand, next 2 to 3 classes we need to understand upsets with script. Reason, let me tell you the reason. Well, in our example today, we are having a regular table, right? But mostly in real world, we use timestamp columns. Mostly in real world, we'll be maintaining timestamp columns at the source. Mostly for streaming the data, change data capture and other activities. If there is some timestamp column, in our result today, Nowhere it is asking about timestamp column at all. And timestamp column cannot be a key column, right? Key column is a business key. Business key is different. Timestamp column is different. Generally, in regular OLTP database environment, I am talking about. Then what we do? We wait for the next concept, wherein we need to have procedures. And you are aware of merge statements in transact SQL. Yes, everyone. Please.
Yes, sir.
Merge statement, transact. Yep. If not, please revise it. The TSQL prerequisites I was mentioning last week also during weekend. Please revise it. I was mentioning. Requesting you. Please revise all transact SQL concepts. And while practicing the example today, try to use lock-ins also. Remember, out of read past, no lock, read past is better. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
No
Yes.
dirty read, no lock. Try to use it. I was asking this question last class. You answered it. Try to use read past lock-in if possible while working with the examples. Tomorrow we'll understand another interesting pipeline wherein no more wizard, but we'll do it through scripture. Here it is. Go to integrate and create the pipeline. Here, so far it is static connections. Tomorrow and day after, it will take 2 days to about 2 hours to do the pipeline example. Interesting and easy one, bit lengthy one. Dynamic connections, parameters, procedures, and queries. It's all about transact SQL. I'll show you in Synapse Studio. You will do it in ADF Studio also. Do in both. And after your example, as usual, please pause. Pause the pool. Just pause it once you're done with your practice. Email sent to everyone. Please check it. I'll wait for some time. Please check it. I'll wait. Got it. Fine, friends. Others, please check it, friends. Please, I'll wait. Please. Very good, sir. Got it, sir. Yes. Got it. Others, please check it, friends. I'll wait. Please check it.
Yes, sir. I got the email, sir.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Sure, sure. Others, please check it, friends. I'll wait, please.
Good, sir.
Yes. Yes. Please check it, friends. I'll wait. Please check it.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Fine, friends. Thank you. Please practice all the items carefully. Meeting tomorrow as usual. Please complete all your practice.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, friends. Thank you. Please practice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, friends. Bye. Thank you. Please practice.
तिथे क्लोज करायसाठी येत आहे. अन ऑर्गनायझर हॅज एंडेड द वेबिनार. दोघं मध्ये ते. दिसलं मीटिंग बंद करून दे का. चल.